Hello, welcome to the Tutors of Life podcast, where we research life so you don't have to. Episode 288. This is your host, Shaun Tutor.
And this is Sam. And this is a talk episode where the tutors talk.
What's up?
Living life today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. I'm just, obviously things didn't go as planned today, but we moved on from it.
It did not go as planned.
Yeah.
Did not go as planned. Equipment didn't set up in the basement well.
Mm-mm.
Our flooring's all fucked up.
Yep.
So that's gay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had plans. We had good plans. They didn't work out. So now...
Reassessing the plans.
Reassessing.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, we either just live with the floor as a B, or we can take it apart and put it back together how it's supposed to be. Or we could take it apart, return it, and get better stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Great options.
Right.
I think today, gave you a couple extra gray hairs.
I got a few gray hairs today.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I had a few.
Mm-hmm.
Days like today suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, they just make you they make you have to think through a lot of dumb shit.
Yeah.
That shouldn't have to be thought through.
Yeah. Looking back on it, if we would have... So, we'll just talk about the gym floor, mainly. Looking back on it, we were only a quarter of the way through. And Kyle thought, maybe we should just take it apart and return it all and get the easier stuff. We're like, well, you're already a quarter of the way through. We'll just keep going. And if we would have stopped at that point, we wouldn't have wasted...
Days
of putting that floor together. So, yeah, I think we need to just stop and reassess things when things take longer than they're supposed to before moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Because we thought about just the time that it took to just take that apart and return everything. But if we think about how long that would have taken us compared to finishing the floor and now the floor being fucked up,
mm-hmm.
it would have saved us so much money and time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thinking through things thoroughly. I think we were just so excited to try and get the gym done as fast as possible that we were like, this is the fastest way.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's really true. Stopping and reassessing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
Typically. Yeah.
What was the Ed Milet episode?
15 lessons that he would have given his younger self.
Mm-hmm. And then also 10 books that
12 books.
12 books everyone should read.
Yeah.
If you're an entrepreneur or you want to improve yourself, I highly recommend listening to that episode. He gives a lot of really good advice.
Fuck yeah.
And I love how he talked. So one of the lessons was to get into real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's just everyone that I know who's successful has some investment in real estate, basically.
Right.
But it was interesting because he said, don't just get a deal to get a deal. It has to be a good cash flowing deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like that because so many people just get into the headspace of just buy.
Or they have to get a deal. A lot of people are like, well, I just got to get a deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just have to get my foot in the door, so I'm just going to buy this one.
Right.
But no, you should make sure it's a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I really liked, he said, was the assets have a growing asset. So not not real estate, but he said something in a CD or
by income producing assets, not liabilities.
Yes. So that I thought was interesting because that's something that not very many people have told us.
Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, talks about that a lot.
But he's one of the few.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, buy cash flowing assets. Grant Cardone talks about too, not liabilities. And if you want to buy a liability, your cash flowing assets, buy it and cover it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So those guys don't believe in like buying anything extravagant unless their cash flow buys it for them.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the only person we've heard talk about that is, who was it? Someone mentioned, like, if you, Sphere Rocket.
Justin Nelson.
Yeah, he talked about, because he got like a super fancy car, and instead of making it a liability, he rented it out. He would rent it out on Turo or whatever.
Photo shoots.
Oh, he would do photo shoots with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he didn't even have to like put any miles on it. That's right.
Yep.
So it was making him money, not just costing him money.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's smart.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things you can do with that. I mean, think about, like your vacation house, Airbnb it.
Mm-hmm.
9 months out of the year, Airbnb it. And so that way, like...
It's getting lived in, used, and you're making money.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of things to do with that, but it all goes down to, like, one of the things he said before, which we talk about on here all the time, is, like, understanding money.
Mm-hmm.
Be a saver.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, learn to be a saver. Live below your means. Live below your means, learn to be a saver. Like, if you can't do that, that's, like, the first step. I think that's the first step in everything,
Mm-hmm.
is, like, finance. Start understanding money and live below your means and become a saver.
Right, because, I mean, if we, like, just started foolishly spending money, so, like, on customer projects, we say we're only gonna, or only $3,000 of certain materials are included, but let's say we spend $3,500, sorry. 3,500, and we're like, oh, we just won't charge the customer that. That's $500 gone. And
Big
when you
issue.
do, yeah, and when you do that again and again and again and again, it's gonna hurt you at some point.
Big issue.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of companies do that.
Yeah, that's why it's been really nice. I finally got caught up on like all of our like old finance stuff and organizing stuff. And so it's been really nice because now like our QuickBooks is like nice and clean. So I like see the transactions come through like the following day. So then it's been really nice because not like I'm being nosy, but it is nice to see like, oh, someone's actually paying attention to what money is going out and like what we are spending money on.
Yeah, it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Tracking is very important.
Mm.
Yeah. I think a lot of things when you look at it with like a bigger picture, then narrow it down. So like when you're looking at your whole scope, like if you look at your whole income or like your whole scope of like what you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then break it down. It's the little things that make a big difference.
Yeah.
So like they say you only have to save 10%. You know what I'm saying? To like retire. If you save 10% and like invest it properly, you can retire on that. And it comes into like the business realm so true as well. It's at least for like us, what we're doing, not often is a big thing being missed. It's the little things.
Mm-hmm.
But those little things add up to 10%. Can add up to 10%.
Oh yeah.
So then when you're looking at a 10% take, like a 10% taking from you instead of gaining a 10%, you got a 20% swing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that's a very big issue on your profit margin and your like survivability in a business. And so it's very important when you're doing the big picture view to make sure you're thinking and accounting for all those little things, because your 10% off can mean a lot. And so instead of like you want to be thinking of having a 10% overage buffer instead of like oh, well, whatever, for like a 10% under. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I was like thinking about that today because I started like looking at some stuff in the garage, and we have like 30 tubes of caulk.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And I was like, okay, at every job, do we just buy a new tube of caulk and then
Yes.
throw in the half a tube into the garage?
Yes.
So then it's ruined, basically.
Yes.
So, like, is there a way to reuse that caulk?
Yes.
How much is a tube of caulk?
It all depends, like anywhere from $3 to $12.
So, yeah, if you guys think about that, do the mental math, let's say $5.
Right.
And every job, we buy at least probably 2-3 tubes of caulk.
Right.
And instead, we could be, like, reusing a half of one.
Mm-hmm.
That money adds up fast.
For sure. For sure.
And that's just with caulk. That's just with one of the things we have.
For sure.
Fun. Fun, fun.
Mm-hmm.
What else you got going on?
Man, I'm pretty blanking.
Are you? I got more stuff.
We keep going.
Dude, I know we talk about the gym a lot on this podcast, but dude, today I haven't worked out in 5 days or whatnot.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because we were gone Friday, gone Saturday, Sunday we were bums, and then yesterday we moved stuff in the basement a little bit.
My God.
Bumming it. I'm bumming it.
Today's my first day missing in over a week.
You don't work out Saturday?
Didn't work out, but I did exercises.
Oh, your stretches, yeah.
Stretching,
Yeah.
things like that.
Anyways, today was first day. I went back. Dude, I was like flexing my biceps in the mirror. They're looking real nice.
Nice. That's good.
And then it was funny because me, and then two other guys that one of them is someone we've seen at the gym for 5-6 years. I think he has the TT, the Audi TT.
Mm-hmm.
And then just another kid. And all of us were doing back and buys, and we're doing very similar workouts. But it was funny because we conveniently, like, all kept rotating off of the equipment at the right time so that the next person would go on to it. It was actually very entertaining for me.
That's pretty cool.
And it was pretty much just us three in the gym.
That's really cool.
So it was nice. But then I forgot my headphones.
It's rough.
I was supposed to do legs today, but there was no way I was doing legs without headphones.
Okay. So we took went to Treasure Island. No. Mystic Lake. Watched Quang fight. Knocked dude out.
Yeah.
With a left hook.
It was dope.
That was pretty cool.
Uppercut?
Left hook. He did a cross and then a left hook.
Oh, okay.
And it was pretty sweet. Now he's 8-0. What a stud. That's cool. That's fun to watch.
Dude, I love watching that shit. And it's so funny because some of the other wives were like turning around because they couldn't watch some of them because they were really bloody, and I was just yelling.
Yeah, until you see that shit real close and you pass out because you can't handle the sight of blood.
I don't know. It depends on how it happens. It's mainly blood from needles is what gets me.
Okay. All right. Whatever we say. Okay. But no, yeah, that's fun. Jiu-jitsu comp in a week and a half. My body's sore. My body doesn't like me right now.
Yeah, I bet.
So we'll see how that plays out.
Shaun usually comes home at 8 from class, but lately it's been like 8:45, 9 o'clock.
And usually like I get up at my alarm 6 o'clock easy. I've been sleeping. I don't even hear it go off. I sleep through it.
Because I woke you up at the first one. Or I woke up from mine. And I was like, I'm just going to sleep for 20 more minutes when Shaun's goes off at 6. I think we probably both slept through it for like 5 minutes until I think I pushed you enough awake.
I didn't get up.
You didn't get up?
I didn't wake up.
Oh, damn, because I pushed you.
No, I had no idea.
And then, because it automatically shuts off.
Yeah, I woke up at 6:50, and I was like, fuck, damn. I had no idea.
Yeah, because I was planning on getting up at 6 this morning, and then...
I did as well.
Obviously.
Yeah. But yeah, I had no idea that thing was going off.
Damn.
You pushed, I didn't know you pushed me.
Yeah, I definitely was pushing you to wake up.
Nope. I was sleeping.
It's funny because then I fell back to sleep and was
like
passed
8.
out.
Yeah.
7:30.
Okay. Yeah, dude, it's wild. I've been sleeping. My body's just wanting to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got no testosterone, so I'm sure that's not helping.
Did I go to bed before you last night?
Yeah.
Damn.
I can guarantee you no testosterone's not helping me right now.
Yeah. Especially with recovery.
Yeah. Very not good.
Ew.
Yep. I'm short-tempered.
Yeah, you are.
Mm-hmm.
Shaun's definitely going through some mood swings.
Mm-hmm. Well, if everyone just did what they were supposed to do, then I wouldn't have any need to get mad. You know what I'm saying?
You know that's never going to be a thing.
That's all I'm saying. If everyone did their job, I wouldn't have to get mad.
Dude, today, Mimi, twice. I let her outside at the office. And I let her go potty, and I just sat on the steps and played on my phone before I was going to the gym. Would not come in. Just laid down on the grass and looked at me like, no.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever, I let her stay out there for 10 minutes. And then, even to come home, I was like, okay, let's go inside, let's go home. And she just stood out there, and I was like, we can go home, where you can lay in the yard. And then, of course, she comes home.
Doesn't want to lay in the yard.
No, stays out there for 5 minutes and then comes in and lays in her bed.
It's ridiculous.
She's a twat.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
Did we talk about... We kind of talked about what we did this weekend, didn't we?
Yeah. Did we talk about Mike Finger at all?
No.
Went and listened to Mike Finger at Muskie Tank Mixer last week. And he talked about building a sellable business.
Mm-hmm.
Which I really like, because building a sellable business,
I think, makes you not burn out so much.
Oh, for sure. Definitely not. Definitely not going to burn out, but it also makes you get freedom to make decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do what you want to do with it.
So basically, to make a sellable business is the business has to be able to function without you.
Right. Exactly.
It's the main concept. Mm-hmm. So if you're an owner who's very heavily involved, you do a whole bunch of the tasks or departments or whatever, it's not a sellable business.
Right.
So when we were thinking of buying the tub glazing company, that wasn't a sellable business because it was basically just him and an assistant.
Yep.
And the assistant wasn't there very often.
No.
And then we would have still had to go to the trainings to learn how to do it all. And then part of the agreement was he was going to stay on for 3 years to teach us.
3 months.
3 months. To teach us and answer questions. But then we looked at the contract with the, what is that called? Franchise. And he wasn't able to do that.
There was a lot of weird things with that.
Yeah. But so it basically made it, because we could just go and start our own glazing company then at that rate. Mm-hmm. So that's what we mean. That's a good example of a not sellable business.
Right. Yeah, and honestly, that glazing thing, Rico glazed a tub for us, and Kyle's glazed them before, and it's just why, what? These look just as good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because isn't there painting kits almost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's this is ridiculous. But anyways, yeah, there's that sellable. Yeah, you can't be a intricate role in your business if you want a sellable business. And what were the 3 things he said? It has to be like appealing. Oh, sorry. It has to be an appealing business.
Mm-hmm. They're in our notes somewhere
Replicable.
Downstairs. Yes.
Replicable. And it's like profit. No, not even that.
No.
Something. Yeah, but anyways, it made a lot of sense, and you could run those 3 questions or those 3 like criteria by everything to see if it's worth buying or not.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of the issues, and this is like what people don't talk about. So you get like Cody Sanchez and stuff who's like, yeah, just buy a business. I'm like, cool, Cody. You bet. But then we've tried buying a couple. And what you get is people think their shit's worth more than it is.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have a business that's worth nothing because without them, nothing gets done. So it's worth nothing. But, well, we got equipment. Okay, cool. I could buy the same equipment. We got to book a business. Okay, that helps a little bit. You got to book a business and a name. How long is that going to be around if the main people are gone?
Right, like, are those customers only coming to the business because of you specifically?
Right.
Because then that's not going to help once you're gone.
Right. Or, and so that's like, we've seen that multiple times with multiple companies where it's like, if you had employees, you had a manager, everyone's got their roles, it shows that it operates. You could still be a salesman or a manager or whatever, as long as your position position systemized,
mm-hmm.
and it can be replaced, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's one of those things where you have to look at like, what would make this appealing to others? Is it systemized and processed so anyone could come in and run the company? In theory, right?
Yeah.
Someone could come and run the company. And that's like the replicable, whatever, where they can replicate what you're doing and like continue to do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it is always interesting to, like, we've talked about Cody Sanchez quite a bit and how she says, like, there's these many businesses that are going to close in the next 5 years because there's no one to take them over.
Right.
But then we go listen to Mike Finger, and he says for every sellable business, there's probably going to be 10 buyers.
For every sellable business, there's like 10 buyers. And for every, and only, I think only 20% of businesses sell.
Mm-hmm.
80% close.
Yeah. But, I mean, we've seen it firsthand. The main issue is so many business owners don't keep track of their cash. So they don't, like, have records of their cash or whatever. So then they'd be like, well, I make $60,000 off the books. It's like, okay, can you prove that? Well, no, I don't have any receipts or anything for that. Okay, then no, you can't count that as profit.
Right. Well, not only that, like, just because you bring in that much work, but you've got nobody to do the work, why do I care?
Mm-hmm.
So then I have to do the work? Like, no. Mm-hmm. I've got shit I need to do.
Right. That is a big thing, too, to, like, once again, for business owners to think about is keep track of what you're getting paid in cash. I mean, our old neighbor, he didn't. And then he went and tried to buy a house and couldn't because it looked like his business only made $5,000 or only profited $5,000 because he didn't
track his cash.
He didn't track his cash for tax benefits.
Right.
Okay, sure, you're going to pay less in taxes, but then you can't get a home loan when you want to. So
it's all sweet until you need it, right?
Yep.
Which is, that's like... Oh.
I mean, you never know when you're going to need it.
Right.
So you might as well just do it right, be prepared, and then you don't have to worry about it.
It's like the motel for Ryan and I. The people that had it before us, it was like 2/3 cash payments. Mm-hmm. So they didn't claim any of those. So it got appraised at X when we bought it, right?
Yeah.
Well, then we got it reappraised, and it was over double, because we tracked the money. Over double because we claimed the cash.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, that's pretty fucking nice. You've got the price we bought it for times by 2 in equity now, right? You know, so you have the purchase price in equity as well. So yeah, it's just crazy to think of like what that does for you when you actually track shit.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
And it just helps you like just be more precise with things anyways.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, no, we're kind of boring today. We got to go to, we got Whiskeria tonight. Who's speaking?
Ashley Lang.
On.
Short-term rentals,
Nice.
medium-term rentals,
Have you
long-term rentals.
watched her before?
Yeah, she's really good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're excited for that. A lot of people are, we're asking for someone to come in and speak about short-term rentals. So
It's beautiful because she's so honest. And she's like, it doesn't make sense a lot of the time. She's actually switching a lot of her short-terms back to mid-terms.
yeah,
I love it. It's beautiful. It's so refreshing to listen to someone who's not just like trying to stroke you off and say, oh, short-term rentals, you're going to make so much more money. And it's like, oh, really? With all the extra management, covering all the utilities, all the furniture, the extra maintenance. Oh, you're making more money? Good joke. It's possible, but we've ran numbers multiple times on multiple different properties, and I'm like, this would do better as a long term.
yeah,
And if it's doing better as a long term, that's a problem.
yeah.
Like,
And we also have to like, we account for like headaches too. So I mean, we don't manage our short-term rentals, but we still do all the maintenance on them.
yeah.
So we have to think like, if something big happens, that's time away from someone being on a flip or a customer job that has to go work on this rental.
But you get that with long term too, though.
That's true, but not nearly as much.
Not as much. Not at all.
No, because you got to think like people who are doing short stays are way more picky about where they're staying than people that are like living in their place for a year.
For sure.
So yeah, that'll be cool. It is just so funny. I've heard actually like I've seen a handful of people talk about wanting to get into flips and things like that in the area. And it's just so entertaining because one of them, like, she mentioned how, like, how do we find these screaming deals? Like, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, well, I mean, actually, we only made, like, this much profit on it. And they're just like, wait, what? We're like, yep. And that's, like, pretty average for us. Like, I mean, the most recent one we did a little bit better on because it was only, like, a 4-month holding compared to a 10-month hold. But, like, you don't make a whole lot of money on flips, but people think you should make $100K plus on flips.
Yep.
And it's just, it's very entertaining, like, because we like to be very honest and tell people, like, what we do actually make on things, if they ask.
Yep.
And stuff. And I think almost every time people are, like, shocked how little you make on flips.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I love that shit. And it's, some people, well, a big thing is there's guys who do flips and they do the work themselves, or they hire, like, cheap crackheads and then oversee it and also help out themselves a lot, right?
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, we made 60,000 profit. Well, you made how many hours did you put in? We don't count those. We don't track that. Oh, really? Because you don't track your time because your time's worth nothing?
Right.
Good. Yeah. But when you actually track it like a construction company and you track it at, $100 an hour, it's like, oh, yeah, we actually didn't make all that much money.
No.
But yeah, when you
got to pay yourself first. You can't just do all the work for free and then act like, oh, yeah, I made $80,000 on this project. Like,
right.
No. If you put in 6 months of your time, you need to account for that.
Exactly. Yep. Otherwise, you could have been doing anything with a lot less stress and a lot less money into a project to do it. But that's a big thing about, like, we've talked about this agnesium. Agnesium? Is that how you say it?
I've never heard that word.
Yeah, bullshit, dude. Agnesium. Look it up. It's at length.
Okay.
Is what it means.
Okay.
Everything comes down to your imagination and what you want in life. And so you have to live in your imagination to find out what you want. So if you want a business, with business comes responsibility, but with that comes overhead. And to run a business, you need to think of your overhead. So do you have a location? It's like an office. Do you have vehicles? Okay. Do you have employees? Okay. Do you have insurances, workers' compensation? Do you have any employee benefits? What kind of like expenditures do you have? Your utilities? Any, like for us, tools, things like that, trailers. So now you're looking at, okay, so we have this group, these things, these bills, and so this is our overhead. It costs us $30,000 a month to operate. Okay. So now we need to make at a minimum $30,000 a month profit, like over the cost of doing a job, over the cost of selling a product, whatever it is. You have to make $30,000 over your bottom line, right? And so as you build a company, if in your imagination you want a company, something that's sellable, something that's worth money, an asset, then you're going to have overhead, and you're going to have the more you grow, the more significant that overhead becomes. Did you find agnesium?
No.
Agnesium? I could be saying the word completely wrong.
Yeah, do you mean like extensive?
No. I heard smart people say it. And so anyways, as you build these things and do these things, comes with a level of responsibility and overhead. And so if you don't have that, and in your imagination you just want to make $100,000 a year, you don't care how much you work, you don't care what you're doing, you just want to make $100,000 a year. Okay, well, we don't need a location, we don't need employees, we could have the cheapest insurance, we don't need employee benefit packages, nothing like that. Okay, we can get the bare minimum. Okay, so what if we're just going to be a let's just say like a middleman. We'll just say a general contractor who actually doesn't do any of the work. He's just coordinating. So a general contractor, he's bringing in work, he's lining it up with subs, and he's just overseeing it to make sure the work gets completed. Okay, so what do you need? You need a general contractor's insurance. You can do it out of your house. You can sign contracts at customers' homes. And then you need a vehicle. Pretty easy, right? And so by doing that, you're able to just make enough to get by, and then your overhead's so small so you don't have to make anywhere near what a big company needs to make, right?
Right.
And so when you hear these 1-2 man shows who do their flipping projects and they do all the work themselves and they don't count labor, they just count material. Oh, I only had $25,000 to that property. Okay, well, it took you 4 months. So and like, but I made $60,000. Okay, so over 4 months you made $60,000. I know you're not accounting for holding costs, and things like that. So let's say you're actually really at like 50. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, 50. So you got 2 more. You're gonna make $150,000 this year if you do 2 more. That doesn't include, did you buy more tools? Did you upgrade your trailer or truck? Your insurance still has to come out of that and stuff. And so like, it's as you grow, the more money you make gets eaten out through overhead. But what does that mean? Okay. So what that means is you're supplying a job or careers for multiple people, right? And so you're taking care of more people than just yourself, essentially, right? But that comes with a whole nother world of stress and things and whatever. But that's where you have to like charge more, and you have to track all those things, and you have to realize like, oh fuck, we don't make all this money on flips because we've got a team, we got an office, we got equipment, we got insurance, we got workers, all that shit. And so but most people that are just working their 8 to 4, 7 to 3, it's just their day job, and they think of flipping, they are not thinking of that. Even they don't, like, in their position, they're not thinking about their company, their organization they're with has that. They're just like, you charge $100 an hour. Why do I only make $25? Dog, do you know how much taxes are? Do you know how much insurance is? Do you know what the cost of the building is? Do you know what the equipment cost is? Do you know what the utilities are? Your employee benefit package, you're matching your 401k. Like, you have no idea, dude. An employee running around costs $50 an hour minimum.
Yeah.
And so, and a lot of the time when you factor in your location and all your things to operate, each employee's costing you $75 running around.
Yeah.
So, it's like there's things that people aren't thinking about. They see, they're like, okay, well, the company's charging 100, I'm making 25, but they're like, what's it cost? $30 to have me here? No, dog, like 75.
Yeah.
So the company's making 25. Okay, great, but that 75 is only billable. So what happens when you sit on the shitter too long? What happens when you're playing with your fucking dinghy, watching Netflix, cruising your goddamn phone when you're supposed to be getting work done, and you're not being able to bill that out? Well, covering that's that $25, and so people don't think about that shit.
No.
And that's where a lot of people will get into flipping or whatever and be like, oh, this wasn't that great. No shit, dog, because you don't think about time. Time's very important.
Oh, very.
And so when you decide that, oh, I actually want to spend some time with my family, or I want to spend some time doing my hobbies, things like that, because I also got a full-time job. Oh, okay, well, what would it look like if I hired this shit out? Oh, they charge that much? Fuck, that's a lot. Yeah, because they have to pay someone like you who's got a day job to go in and do the work.
Yep.
So anyways, that's what I got for you.
I love it. Well, we got to go off to Wiscoria. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you Monday.
Learn how to save money. That's what I got for you today.
Learn how to save money. Learn how to track your time. Learn how to track your money.
Love it.
Cool.
All right, guys. Catch you on the next one.